Okay, so that's the final movement of the whole piano cycle. And now I would like to continue on with the second piece. So, oh, well, first things first, I would like to mention one more motivic connection between the fourth and second piece. Namely, if you look at this bar 7 and bar 8 until the beginning of bar 9, we have, and it appears not only in this part, of course, we have it everywhere, also here, also in bar 14, and in the beginning, actually, it's there already. In the second movement of the whole piano cycle, you could see in bar here, in bar 30, and also in bar, you see, 34, we have the same, kind of the same thing, but it's like reverse. So if it's in a final movement, we have, but here in bar 30, we have, so it's like the same thing, but reversed. And this motif becomes something heavy in graph. So we have, there, and one can say that it's imitating the sound of bells or the sound of gongs. Okay, let's go to the beginning of the piece. Let's see. Okay, again, notation. Look at the piece. We have molto adagio, and then what we have in the beginning is 3 upbeatish 16 notes, which led to a downbeat on the next bar. And what we have here is a beaming over the bar line. And then 2 more rests, and another beaming over the bar line, then 2 more rests, and another beaming. And if I play the piece, the beginning, it would be. When I started working on this movement, I was wondering, is he trying to portray something from the nature? It could be. But then I found out that I could put some text into it. For example, what should I do now that he's gone, she's gone, because he lost his daughter, so it could be. And what I'm trying to say is that it helps you understand the music if you try to find a natural way to look at Janacek's music. So it's like speaking and singing. This motif appears everywhere, and in the next section, in the presto section, it becomes something like a color instead of something with choral texture. In bar 28, also in a presto section, we have a fugato, and it becomes the figure becomes a relentless figure, and it portrays some kind of obsession. Yeah, so far for the second piece, and I would also like to play my recording. I will have to search first which one, from which minute is the second piece. Okay. Okay, so that's the second movement of the piece of the piano cycle. Now let's go on to the first piece. Yep. We have this. In the beginning, it feels really like literally in the mists because it's full of uncertainty. If you take a look at the melody here, and then we have this D flat, like a pedal point in the left hand. Sound to me also somehow like a singing, but not an operatic singing in the theater, rather like some villagers, a man in a village singing in a hoarse tone, a little bit out of tune. I have this image in my mind. And it also says cantando, which means singing. And although the piece is written in D flat major, you could not really tell the tonality of the piece, especially in the beginning, because Janacek didn't write a solid D flat major chord. Although he did have this D flat as a pedal point, but it's really uncertain, it's really vague. We have a D flat major quality in the end of the first section, which is over here in the bar 48, but I would say it's not a statement. So it's really a picture of in the mists. Back to this phrase, this small phrase, it's repeated again in the next section, in the next phrase. And then in bar 7, the same thing happened, but it's prolonged. And after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars of the same material with a prolongation in the end, he didn't end the phrase yet, but instead he continued the music by putting the theme from the beginning in the middle voice. So he could, theoretically, he could end. I will play from bar 7. Maybe he could end. Maybe, but he didn't do it. Instead, he continued the music. And so on. So also some motivic hints. What we hear here in the beginning comes back again in the B section of the piece, Pocomoso, but of course it's varied. And what we hear in this section is so instead of we have a variation of the theme. Okay, let's listen to the first piece. Okay, so that's the first piece, and now we have all the pieces, all the movements covered from Janacek's In the Mists. He is a very he's a great composer, but I'm very sad that he only acquired his fame and artistic recognition very late in his life. But I admired his spirit and I love his music. He's very special in his own way. His language in his music is like no other. So I hope that this seminar brings you more, gives you more understanding of his music, and hopefully you're interested to play more of his works.
Yeah, thank you so much, Myra, for sharing with us, and definitely bravo. Yeah, bravo, bravo. Yeah, what a very great performance of yours, playing these pieces, and you show us and you are guiding us to know what to listen, because a lot of us are not very familiar with Janacek. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing with us, especially his fascination on actually how he actually go and listen to how people talk, and
Yeah,
he would know
yeah.
everything.
He's
Yeah,